my dad, Francis Lufkin, had worked for the Forest Service essentially since from the time he moved into the Minhow Valley at the early 30s. And his background briefly was that his dad believed that a young male should be on his own when he was age 15. And so at age 15, he kicked my dad out of the house, and my grandmother had a cousin who lived in the Minhow Valley by the name of Ringman, and so she worked out a deal where my dad could move in with with his uncle and stay with him, and my dad would then work for the Forest Service in the summertime doing various things. And then in the wintertime, he finished high school on his own. He actually ended up taking one of his years of high school over because the school lost his records. So it was kind of an unusual situation. But by the time that the smoke jumping experiment came around in 1939, he had had several years of working with the Forest Service. They knew him very well. He had done all kinds of work, from working on a lookout, pack strings, installing phone line up in the mountains, and in the last couple of years he was a fire guard. And basically his job at the time was the lookout would see a fire at whatever time of day. The lookout would then get the coordinates of the fire, phone down to the 8 Mile Ranger Station where my dad lived, and Dad would get put on a pack and walk however many miles it took and however many hours it took into the fire, put the fire out, and then walk back out. So when this smoke jumper experiment came into the valley, one of the skills that my dad had was tree climbing, obviously from putting in phone lines. And so they brought him in along with a couple of other local guys to work with the contract jumpers who worked for the Eagle Parachute Company. And his job was to go up to the parachute meadows and other places where they were practicing these jumps. Because when they first started out, basically all they had was guys and parachutes. They didn't have jumpsuits, they didn't have let-down systems, none of that. It was all developed in that first year, 1939. So when these guys would jump into the trees and land in a tree, they had no way of getting down. So Dad would climb up the tree, and we actually have a picture of him up in a tree where you can see the jumper clear in the top of the tree. And Dad's halfway up the tree, and he's guided the tree off because it's not a very big tree. Guide it with wires or ropes or whatever. And he would climb up then, get the jumper on his shoulders, and let him down to the ground, and then he would get the parachute down. And that was his job.